What is happening, my friends? We are back again, finally, to check out a little bit more BAND-MAID. This one is going to be Rinne. Rinne. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's what this one is. So, this is like, we're coming to the end of, like, the big ones at this point, you know? I think I've only got a few more after this one. I mean, I already recorded Daydreaming. It's over on my Patreon right now. I'll put it up, in a week or two, I think, on YouTube if you don't, if you want to wait, though. So, real quick. There's going to be some changes to my channel. I'm going to make a separate video about this, but I figured I'll just let you guys know first. Starting in June, I'm going to have like a full-ass schedule. Like every day. You know, like at least Monday through Friday, I'm going to be releasing new videos every day because I've been laid off. You would think that that would make a normal person sad, but for me, I just kind of look at it as a new opportunity. So we're going to put a little bit of effort into this because I'm going to have a lot more time. So I'm thinking I'm going to do like, you know, I'm going to have like a day for J-Rock, I'm going to have a day for K-Pop, maybe some movies, maybe some anime, I don't know, maybe I'll double up, maybe like a wild card day, I have no idea. But if you guys got any ideas, like throw them down in the comments, because I'd love to hear your suggestions. And then I'll take like a bunch of your ideas and I'll like put them on polls and shit like that. And like, I don't know, man, I got ideas, but they're like all half baked and I don't know where I'm going to go with this. All I know is there's going to be a lot more content coming starting in June. So, I hope you guys will stick around for it. I'm going to start this over a little bit. It's not loud enough for my metal ears, which don't work properly. Uh-oh. I'm sure this is going to change, but I'm getting a little Sane Anger vibes here. Wow, using some harmonics in there. What an interesting beginning to the song. So like everything was under some sort of filter, like an old school filter, you know, to kind of make it seem a little bit more faded into the background. The drums you could specifically tell the most on. The guitar sounded a little bit fuzzy. The bass was carrying that whole thing. It was doing like sort of like a lead bass riff the whole time. It's matching the visuals of the video right there, where it's like the whole video seems grainy, and the music, the sound of the song behind it also has like a grainy feeling to it. I don't know how I feel about it yet, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna listen to it. So far, I'm really digging the bass. I don't know how I feel about the rest yet. So now we're away from the post-production stuff. So I really like the chorus so far. And I really specifically like the little things that Konami's doing, you know, those harmonics in the very beginning, and then here kind of leading up to the end of that chorus. Okay. See, here's the thing. In the beginning, okay, so it sounds cool and it gives you those old school vibes, and I appreciate that, but, you know, as somebody that is literally like breaking down the music, I wanted to be able to hear it. And you can't really hear it when it's as fuzzy as it was before. And now they're playing that first part and they're doing it with like full production, you know, none of the filter over top. But now that I know that that's not going to be the whole song, I can actually go back and probably enjoy that aspect of it a lot more on the second time around. We're in like a drop C tuning right now. Like, have you guys ever listened to like gore metal? You know, like it's really dropped down. Like they have these really thick, chunky sounds right now, and it almost sounds still definitely getting like old school metal vibes, which is why now that I understand kind of like what the song is, I like that beginning of. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Now I feel like I can appreciate this. And we got the double bass coming in here strong. It's like a blast beat from Akane. And that's the harmonics, not artificial ones, real harmonics. And this bass line is nasty. Little bass slide there too. What's that right there? You hear Konami just with like a couple quick notes. You hear that? It's like really far in the back. I like the going up the scale there at the end of the chorus line. It really gives it like a sense of we're getting somewhere, like a journey. Okay, so before I was saying it with like a negative connotation to it, but now I'm going to say it with a positive connotation. It still reminds me sort of new Metallica, but now that I've heard more than just like that weird, you know, faded sound in the beginning, which reminded me of Saint Anger, it sounds a lot more like the Death Magnetic album. If you guys listen to any Metallica, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm definitely getting vibes of that. I really like Death Magnetic. I know a lot of people didn't. I thought it was awesome. The rest of y'all are just haters. Yeah. Oh, what are those? What are those little... So the people that were telling me that like this might be their heaviest song, it's probably true. You know, I could go back and I could look at something like you know, some of the songs off the new album and say that there's like a lot of metal elements into it, like specifically progressive metal, which is like heavy but also catchy and experimental and like a little different. While this here, yeah, I mean, that's just like heavy, not experimental, just heavy, and I'm down. Alright, back to the intro riff again. Little change there. So what I like so much about this bridge, the bridges are always awesome, But what I like about this one in particular, which makes it stand out from the others, is it's 4 parts instead of 3. A lot of their other ones are 3. This is a 4-parter. The change in the rhythm guitar and bass lines halfway through the solo makes the solo stand out, gives it that feeling of freshness. And then I like that there's a dual lead. You hear both guitars playing the lead part right here in part number 1. And I think that always sounds cool. You know, it always sounds cool when you got 2 guitars playing a lead at the same time. As long as the lead doesn't suck. It's a cool sounding lead, though. Let's listen to it. Now we're into the solo, part 1. Fast solo. There's the change, right? The rhythm and the bass switch it up there. You get part 2. Part 3, actually. So, like, they're still playing the same riff that they were playing on the 3rd line. His first 2 lines are the same, and then the 3rd line changes, and the 4th line is this one right here, which is still the same notes, but they go into the palm mute. Sounds like just killer bees swarming, right? That sound right there, that's killer bees swarming. Nasty. Now we're gonna get part 4, right? Which I haven't even heard yet. Well, part of it. Right, and it's like basically a bass solo. Part 4 is basically a bass solo. It's a fucking awesome. So, we'll break there before we get into the last chorus. Yo, it's crazy how heavy some of the parts of this song are, especially in comparison to a lot of their other music. How heavy some of these parts are, and then you get into this chorus and it's just like BAND-MAID chorus. It's just like that catchy ass poppy sound with some cool lead guitars underneath. But it's coming out of something that's so much more metal than most of their music. It's like it creates that larger disparity, but it also gives you that larger sense of satisfaction because of that abrupt change. I knew they were going to do that. I knew they were going to go into the halftime here. It was either that or double time, but this makes more sense. Now wait, I'm going to take one more guess. This last line of the riff, we're going to have Akane come in and do the double bass again. I was wrong. So I thought that song was fantastic. Are you surprised? You shouldn't be surprised. If you know anything about me, you would know that I would think that song is fantastic. There's an element of heaviness with this song that a lot of their other songs don't have. It's still rock and roll, man. I'll say that. Like, even with like the metal hybrid, they still come off feeling and sounding like a rock and roll band. I don't know how they do that. Sometimes it surprises me because some of the little things that they do in the songs aren't very rock and roll, you know. They'll add like, you know, the progressive metal, or like in this case like almost like thrash metal, new metal styling, or they'll add like, you know, really J-rock like catchiness, and still at the end of the day they come out seeming like a rock and roll band. I think some of it might have to do with the attitude, you know. They really kind of embody that like 70s 80s rock feel. And I think it's one of the things that like really appeals a lot of people to them. Like, you know, if you'll watch like a reaction of like, you know, Drum Teacher reacts, and it's like some 48-year-old dude that listened to Led Zeppelin and AC/DC growing up, he's gonna listen to these guys, these girls, and he's gonna be like, damn, that was nasty. You know, it's like there's an element of nostalgia with them too. But anyway, so for this specific song, The things that really made it stand out were the 4-part bridge, which I absolutely thought was probably the best part of the song. I do think that they've written better choruses since then. It's got the BAND-MAID chorus feel to it, but like, you know, if you listen to their new album, like, I think some of the choruses that they put on there are just like head and shoulders above the choruses that anybody else makes. And while this one was good and it was very BAND-MAID, it just didn't reach that exact level. Now that I'm going back and thinking about it, I really like how it started out with that kind of muddled sound in the beginning to give it the old school metal feel. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. So like I said, put some comments down there below if there's something that you want to see coming up on the channel or even on the Patreon. And, you know, like the video. I never tell you guys to like the video. Can you like the video for me? Just do me the solid. Alright, I'm out of here. Peace.